This is Mastering Your Wealth with David Gagnon, the podcast.
Welcome to the show, guys. This is Mastering Your Wealth Radio with David Gagnon. My name is Jessica. We do appreciate you being here. Most importantly, we love hearing from you. We want to hear your questions, your thoughts, your concerns. And most importantly, David is here to help you. Allow him to put his 40 years of experience to work for you as you kind of manage and maintain this rocky road that can be known as retirement, making sure your money is going to last as long as you do. As always, David, welcome, man. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Jessica. How you doing today?
Doing amazing. Glad to be back here with you. It's kind of an exciting time for us. I'm really excited that people are being proactive and they're calling you and they have questions, and they are really, instead of just keeping their head in the sand and not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, they're saying, you know what, I am taking control over my financial future. That's a cool thing to see.
Yeah, I think people are getting a little anxious with everything going on in the world, and they want some stability in their financial plan, or actually they want a plan. We always talk about how people aren't putting together their decisions based off a financial plan, and that's so true. I've been doing this for decades, and I've yet to see anybody come in with a strategic plan that's customized for what they're trying to accomplish short-term and long-term. And tax planning is a big key. And a lot of our calls are coming in from people that want help in a number of different areas. Some people need income planning, because when people get to retirement, trying to create that paycheck is very confusing. They're dealing with people that really aren't designed or experienced to do that. They're managing their investments, but they haven't put together an income plan design that can show them how to create income without selling off their shares, which is a bad thing to do when you're creating income. That's like killing your goose that's laying the golden egg. You want to stop that, because without a real income distribution plan, that's what happens. Tax planning, that is my background. And we show people how to minimize taxes in the future instead of defer them, like most people. And a lot of people are worried about their investments. They see what's going on with the markets, where they're at. They've experienced losses back in 2022, 2008 especially, and they're kind of positioned the same way, and now they're getting close to retirement, and they're looking for ways to protect their money and still see it grow. And so we provide solutions for that. So a lot of people are just not getting answers to a lot of questions they have with whether they're doing this themselves or they have advisors, and we can create a lot of value in some of the areas they're not getting help on.
And, speaking of just kind of getting the ball rolling in retirement planning, the big question that you're asked all the time is, how much do I have to save? Have I saved enough? How do you know I'm not going to run out of money? And that really goes back to people thinking there's some magic number about saving for retirement. Some even say it's 1.8 million. That apparently is now the trending magic number in retirement. Others say you should have 70 to 80% of your annual salary. So how do you figure this out for clients, and what factors do you consider?
Well, there's so many moving parts to this, and you have to look into the future with what you're doing today. And some of the questions that you really need answers to sooner rather than later is, based on the age you want to retire, how much do you need to have accumulated when you get to retirement age that is adjusted for inflation and taxes to make it work with your lifestyle spending objectives? And everybody's spending objective is going to be different. So there's going to be a lot of variables in a lot of planning, and age at retirement is one of them. How long do you think you're going to live? What is your lifestyle spending likely to be? And so what we're going to need to do is get some answers. How much do you need to save today, and to what age, and what is the size of that nest egg going to be or need? But what's going to impact that is also the rate of return on your money. So if you can get a higher rate of return along the way, you don't have to put as many of your own dollars into the plan. But some people are so conservative along the way and probably not investing appropriately. Now they have to work harder for the dollars they need to put in to overcompensate for the lack of return. So one affects the other, but we are always looking for opportunities to also be tax efficient in retirement. And so if we can cut back on your unnecessary taxes you may pay because you don't have a tax plan, well, that puts less stress on how much you need to save to get to retirement and through it. And so planning and looking into all these variables is so key. And a lot of people go into it blindly. They get into their career, they raise a family, they save what they can, and then when they get to retirement, and they've put their kids through college, we get a lot of calls from people that are 5 to 10 years from retirement. Now they're starting to think about retirement. And they missed out on time before that could have helped them better and compound their money better because they didn't put any focus on planning. They put the focus on raising the family and made some costly mistakes along the way. Now they got to play catch up. Now they have to work a lot harder, put more dollars into their savings objective so that it's going to be large enough at retirement to get them through retirement. So there are mistakes that happen in the blind spot with most people and how they make decisions. These are wealth transfers that occur and how they finance and pay off their home, how they fund their retirement, how they pay their taxes, how they make capital purchases. These are things that could be avoided the sooner you figure this out. And all those mistakes that people make, and they're costly, they keep compounding until you find a way that and expose it and then stop doing it. And so I just think a lot of people are just blindly saving towards retirement and they're hoping it's all going to work out. And you don't want to have that plan of hope. You want to crunch the numbers, look at all the variables of all the financial decisions that you need to make, better understand your investments, better understand the tax advantages you could create, and really look at what the impact is of inflation and taxes, not only today, but throughout your retirement, and other things that could put you off the rails of retirement, such as out-of-pocket health care. And that is a big problem I'm seeing over and over again. People are living so much longer today in retirement, and the chances of a health care event affecting a family or a couple is pretty high. And when you're infirmed for a long period of time and you got to pay for a lot of these expenses, it really could devastate a retirement, especially for the healthy spouse that may see a lot of resources diminish because of that.
You know, but it's that time of year where, man, I'll tell you what, we're not even out of the days where it's 90 degrees, but you're going to start seeing Christmas decorations up at Costco and Home Depot. Believe it or not, the end of the year is just around the corner. And it got me thinking about, when do we need to come in for that end-of-year planning, David? Is it now? Is it after Halloween, before Thanksgiving? Talk to me.
Sooner the better, because you just give yourself more time to put the advantages in place. If there's some opportunities that need to be done before the end of the year, it takes us time to do an analysis. We're extremely busy. So if you call us later towards the end of the year in the last quarter, it's tough for us to kind of pivot and absorb more time with a new case, but we'll try our best to do it. But the sooner you reach out, the better, because it gives us more time to evaluate your numbers and see what options are available to you. Especially if it comes to tax planning, because usually for any individual, you have to have these planned decisions implemented before the end of the year and funded correctly. So don't wait till the last minute. Because people procrastinate, and then they see, well, maybe there's an opportunity to take advantage of some year-end tax planning, but then we get a call in the middle of November, and we have the holidays coming up. We have Christmas coming up. It's tough to kind of pull it all together in time.
Sir Paul McCartney is not ready to retire. Even at the age of 83, he's once again hitting the road this fall on his Got Back tour. I'm actually surprising my dad with some tickets to go see him. I can't wait for the show. And McCartney says he's getting no signals that he needs to be slowing down or stopping.
As far as retiring is concerned, it's nothing I'm looking forward to or even thinking of. I've always said that as long as people want to come and see me, then I'll probably do it. I'll probably feel like doing it. The minute I start to feel like sort of, shuffling around in the audience and going, oh, it's not very good, is it? Or the tickets aren't selling well, then I'll get the big message of ding, it's time to go.
Yeah, it is time to pack it up. I don't think that day's coming anytime soon for him, but when clients tell you that they still love what they do every day, they want to keep going to work, they see no point in retiring, how does that conversation go?
Well, I think that's great. My father-in-law, he was a doctor. He worked till as long as they allowed him to, because I think at age 75, I think they have an age cap. He went back to college to get a degree in forestry. He just loves education, but he couldn't practice as a doctor past that, and so he went on to his next passion. And I think that's important. If you're going to work and you love what you do, there's a lot of emotional benefit to it. It gives you a lot of satisfaction, and retirement's not easy for a lot of people. They get to retirement, And if two things come together when you retire, if you're financially ready and emotionally ready, that's great. But a lot of people are either emotionally ready and not financially ready, or vice versa. But I think if you enjoy what you do, you will probably be healthier. People get a lot of health benefits from that. I think it's therapeutic to some degree. And I've seen people go into retirement and they weren't emotionally ready. And it's very stressful in the first year to 2, maybe 3 years. And if you look at the health statistics out there, and I've seen this many times, where people early in retirement, there's been a spike in heart attacks because of the stress. And so I think if you have something that you really enjoy, and maybe what you can do is pare back the time you are working to spend more time trying to retire and enjoy some of that free time. I think that's a good way to kind of ease into it. You still keep some structure in your day and do the type of work you've been enjoying all your life, and you still enjoy it. And practice retirement with taking a little bit more time off. And then you can see if you can just retire altogether and leave the career. But there's a lot of people that love what they do, which is great. And there's a lot of people that don't like what they do. And that's a very uncomfortable position for people. They feel that financially they're not ready and they have to continue working, but they hate it. Mm-hmm. And I see that a lot.
For more details or to sit down with David for your complimentary financial GPS, visit masteringyourwealthradio.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, LLC, BWA, a registered investment advisor and an affiliate of Brookstone Capital Management, LLC. BWA and First Financial Planners are independent of each other. Insurance products and services are not offered through BWA, but are offered and sold through individually licensed and appointed agents.
Information provided is not intended as tax or legal advice and should not be relied on as such. You are encouraged to seek tax or legal advice from an independent professional.
Any comments regarding safe and secure products and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims-paying ability of the issuing company and are not offered by Brookstone.
David Gagnon and First Financial Planners are not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency.
Registered investment advisors and investment advisor representatives act as fiduciaries for all of our investment management clients. We have an obligation to act in the best interests of our clients and to make full disclosure of any conflicts of interest. Please refer to our firm brochure or the ADV 2A Item 4 for additional information.